What's up, guys? NottheWinner here, and I just want to talk to you guys about leveling up and gaining Paragon points as quickly as possible. Now, there's a few methods for your Paragon points. Obviously, you can go around the map, collect all the altars of Lilith, and you're going to get a few extra bonus Paragon points from that. But you could also get from zones the renown bonuses. So, like for example, in Fractured Peaks, we're at 1500 out of 2490. If we gain the next 500 more points, I'll get an additional 4 Paragon points. And if you do all 5 zones, you can get an additional 20 Paragon points. That's actually kind of big because moving through these Paragon points, it does take a fair chunk of time, so it might be useful to go through zones and make sure you get a very high renown for all those bonus points. You also get 1 point as you go to each of these nodes as you level up. So you're going to get 4 nodes because you get these 3 and then 1 for actually leveling up. 4 nodes per level. So every level you gain, you're going to be getting your 4 Paragon points. And it really does add up after a while. But when you take a look at this Paragon board here, it's going to make a little bit more sense. So over here on your initial Paragon board, you got like this one's bonus damage, bonus life, bonus damage, bonus life, some additional minion damage as well from the intelligence bonus on this. And then every single one of these things that has an intelligence bonus is giving me bonus minion damage as well. So it's useful to grab as many of those nearby, like this one and this one, as possible. Because it's all going to be bonus minion damage for me based on the glyph I've socketed. But then you go over to the Paragon secondary board here. Now, the board that I attached on this case is going to be the minion one. So this one is going to give me minion armor, minion life, and all around it is armor, life, and armor. Then you have like Cult Leader, 15% increased damage for each minion type you have. That's kind of huge, but the surrounding ones are useless. Then you go over to these ones. This one's based on the skeletal mages, and each of the ones around it increases resistance, his damage, and his, I believe there's one for armor. Nope, all damage and resistance. You have this one over here for the attack speed and damage, which is very useful. This one's going to be for all minions as well. And then down here, this is for your skeletal warriors. So if you buff this entire board, focusing on the main rare nodes and magic nodes, you're going to be sitting there with huge, huge bonuses to how much damage your minions deal, how much they can survive, and overall the resistances and health. These are all going to be extremely useful if you're running an army, because if they don't die, then they get more damage, and the damage output compounds as you have more of them together attacking. So definitely one of those very, very useful things to focus on. Now, if you look the stat requirements for each of these for the extra bonuses on damage reduction, it's like 260 dex. This one's 360 intelligence. This one down here is 260 dex as well. And over here, we need 260 dex and 350 intelligence. The intelligence is getting close, and say I complete the last altars of Lilith I need, I'll probably get the intelligence from that, but the dex needs quite a lot of work to get caught up to there, so it's going to actually require me to get some gear pieces that either boost that or focus on dex as I move through this grid. That's just one of those things where you're going to unlock the additional points as you move through it, so I wouldn't stress yourself too much about the oh, I'm going to need this many stats, because you're going to get it as you move through additional boards. There's plenty of boards that you can attach, and as you can see, there's 7 different boards I can still add here. The one that's going to be most useful to me, because like you'll see here, Scent of Death, with at least 2 corpses nearby you gain damage reduction, with no corpses nearby you gain additional damage. This one's all about dealing extra damage to injured enemies and crits. Great, but not for my build. Hulking Monstrosity, though, is all about golems, golems resistance, golems damage. So this one is going to be a better one for me to add once I've completed this entire board here. Then I can go over and be like, okay, cool, let's add on the golem board. So I got strong skeletons and strong golems. But if you're going for a blood board, you're going to want to come over here and go blood begets blood, where your blood orbs are going to give you bonus life regeneration, overpower damage, damage over time, or Bloodbath, where it's all about just damage over time, overpower, and life. So really just focus on what build you're focusing on. Look at the 2 boards that are going to be most effective for your build, and then start working on those. You can always refund points later. It does cost a small amount of gold, so make sure you've got some saved up for that. But overall, it's really not too bad. It allows you to manipulate your build as you like, and whenever you get these glyphs, they have a certain radius to them. So if you know, like, okay, there's tons of intelligence ones over by this next spot that I'm going to be over by, then a good idea might be, okay, let me place the glyph here because it's going to extend outward, and then I can get all these bonuses, which are going to multiply the effect of the glyph. So really pay attention to your glyph that you're setting there, and whether it's been fully upgraded or whether it's just like still a magic glyph instead of a rare glyph, etc. If this has been helpful for you, at least basically understanding Paragon, then please like and subscribe. And just remember, with these boards, when you do select a board, you can actually rotate the board to better suit your needs. So it's like, oh, okay, now everything's in the best position for me to follow this path so I can go grab these bonuses. Alright guys, looks like I forgot a little something on this video. We did want to talk about gaining these Paragon levels. How are you going to gain these levels when you run out of other ways to gain Paragon points and all you can do is grind for levels? So one of the most important things that I want to talk to you guys about right now is in your consumables tab. You're going to have a ton of these nightmare sigils once you've made it to world tier 3. And these nightmare sigils are going to give you 1 beneficial effect and then 2 to 3 negative effects. Depending on what tier it is, as you move past tier 10, you're going to start running into multiple negative effects. And this is also going to affect the level of the monsters that you're running into. Like, for example, I did a tier 10 the other day. It had level 63 monsters when I was level 54. That's not that easy, and you're going to run into walls like that. So you might want to just chill on like anywhere between level 4 and level 8. Nightmare sigils, and just use those to grind your levels up. Each one of these I do gets me about 1 Paragon point if I can get like the full node, all the way up to like half a bar of XP depending on how many mobs I'm happening to kill. Very useful, and you can definitely use your elixirs that you might have extras of or not need for the bonus 5% experience on top. This is the way. If you're grinding out levels, either join a party or run it solo, but run Nightmare Sigils. This is going to be the best possible way for you to gain these Paragon levels as of right now. If this video was helpful to you guys, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And I would also suggest, if you get really tired of running dungeons, occasionally they have these, they're called like Hellscapes. Here's one up here, Helltide. There we go. Helltide has another 34 minutes. You basically kill mobs, you collect the stuff. You actually get a decent amount of XP as you're running through that as well. So I would suggest those, but the best possible XP is definitely going to be those Nightmare Sigils in your Consumables tab, and you'll likely only have 1 of those to start. But as you run a Nightmare Sigil, you'll likely get more of them, and if not, you can still get the level 1s out in the wild. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. If so, like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.